This is why it is so important to expose darkness with light, and why it's so important to remain in Jesus. And there's a supernatural healing power when you do remain in Jesus. He says in John 15, he says, "I am the true vine and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit he prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me, as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. You must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If you do not remain in me, you are like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up, thrown into the fire, and burned. If you remain in me and my words in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. This is my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love. If you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I kept my Father's commands and remain in his love. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you and your joy may be complete." So God has all of these positive, light emotions that, not even just emotions, but things that we get to experience. And we can only experience those fully, completely, when we are attached to our branch, to our vine. And so that's why it's so important to ask God to prune off those branches that may not be serving you to its full capacity. I think of if we have these negative emotions and we are constantly going to the source, the vine, that can heal that negative emotion, versus if we go to vices, which are just branches that cannot serve you, they are just branches, it's not going to feel good. You're not going to feel complete and healed, because that negative emotion is still going to come back, and you're not getting to that completeness that he's talking about even if it's healing or happiness or joy or whatever positive emotion that you are seeking. Deep down, you're feeling maybe depressed or anxious, like I was this morning, because your body is desiring, your spirit is desiring to feel that completeness. And so we can't feel that complete joy if we don't have that negative emotion. That's why he came as a light. And we can appreciate the light because we have experienced the darkness, because we know what the darkness feels like. And I think about how in my past and even now, I have experienced such a testimony and healing power. And whenever I feel darkness or tempted, or that negative emotion, or me trying to seek things that I felt in the past, or whatever it may be, or even want to strive to the future in a ungodly time manner where I'm trying to rush it, I have to remember that everything that God does is patience and it's slow. If you're feeling rushed, even this anxiety of rush or this depression of like being in a rut, know that that is not what God wants you to experience. He doesn't intend for you to experience it, but he can work it into his glory, into your completeness. Every time that I would feel these dark things, I would create this habit, this combat guide basically, of exposing it with light. And the only true light is the vine, is the word. And so every time that I would feel this dark emotion, this would be my source. And eventually it went away. The darkness did not have hold on me, and I didn't feel like I was being in an agreement with that darkness, because I kept coming out of it. And it's a continuous It's almost like a discipline. It takes patience, but Jesus is so kind and loving that this is like a little recipe of healing for you. It's a manual, but it also has supernatural healing power.